Tēnā tātou katoa e mihi ana ki a koutou kua tai mai I tēnei wāhi. Kia koe taina, hard act to follow. Ko ai au. My family are from Yorkshire, from County Kilkenny and County Cork. I'm the first generation of my whānau to be born in Aotearoa. We grew up in Otahuhu, South Auckland, Southside for life. And we grew up surrounded by our whānau because we had come here from somewhere else. We all lived in the same place. So within my learning in Sao Māori, one of the things I realised is I had a very Māori upbringing, actually. My grandparents, both sets, they lived like just here and there, my aunties and uncles, my cousins all around me. So I feel really grateful for that. And it's kind of pertinent to the way I've gone through my life, my professional life within the wānanga and some of the things that I've done and I've learnt. So about 24 years ago, I moved to Waingaro, which is on the harbour. People call it Raglan, but it's a beautiful place. This is not the Whaingaroa that I lived in. This is actually from the project that I'm going to talk about. But I moved to Whaingaroa. I brought my daughter up there. I had really close friends who were from those areas, and I formed a lot of connections around the harbour with different people there and different relationships and things like that. Working at the wānanga, coming and going, doing different projects. This project here that I'm going to talk about would be the culmination of everything I've ever done in terms of supporting rangahau. And I'm a rangahau support person, so I'm a kairuruku for Toi Rawangi at Te Punamanaki. And so the project that I'm going to talk about, I'm a māngai for this project. This is not my project, this is our project, and it's a project that belongs to a hapu called Ngāti Te Mainupo and to our whānau kaiako and graduate Toi Tauira from Te Mānanga Aotearoa. So we started working on this project in 2020 before the lockdowns, and we've kind of nudged it along since then. We had some wānanga and we managed to install the work in 2023. Working with a team of kaiako, graduate tauira and whānau as a managing research, I supported the design, creation and installation of the heke and tāhuhu for Mai Uenuku ki te Whenua Marae. Our team are now working on a publication for this kaupapa, and they will be able to individually talk about their work when we publish, which we're hoping to do next year. That will provide a history to the marae, to the creation of the heke, and the collaborative process of realising these taonga. This here is the view from the wharenui that we're going to be looking at. It looks out from the Waingaro end of what's called Whaingaroa Harbour, but it's actually, it's a river. So the Whaingaroa Harbour is a river called Te Araora Whiti, and this is the deep end. So we've also created several videos internally in the wānanga which speak about the taonga, and I'm going to play these at the end of this presentation. So my connection to this marae is through that's the red blob there is where the marae is, and my connection to Ngāti Te Mainupo is through two very close friends of mine, Donna and Ted Wilson. This is Donna Wilson here with her son Martiga in the background and her daughter Te Miringa. I was at Te Miringa's birth. They're working on the project that we're just going to be having a little look at today. So when the whānau were in the building stage of the new wharenui, Donna and Nanny Caroline came to speak to me and asked if I could help with the toy, because I had been doing marae DIY for a few years. So I had kind of become this go-to person for, hey, do you want to do something at our marae? So I was like, oh, yep, cool. Because I really enjoy working with whānau Māori at marae. I like really practical things. I like things, you start, it's great, you finish. And so they knew that I enjoyed doing those sorts of things, so they came to me. In terms of this project, I knew that one of our toi kaiako in Otepoti, Hira Mahina Ikatone, belonged to this marae, which is in Tainui, yet she lives in Ōtepoti. So she was a part of my kaiako crew, so I decided, oh, hey, you know, this is a great idea for her. I can support her to have an experience of making mahi toi for her whānau on her whenua. So I was like, yep, that's one good reason to do that. The second one was learning from Sandy Adsed, how to work on heke for wharenui. At that stage, he was still working with us, and he's the man. He knows wharenui, heke, tahuhu, Sandy. So I thought, yeah, this is good, because then he gets to share that knowledge with us. And I wanted to bring our Rawangi group together to complete a significant project on the marae. So in 2020, we had a kithui at the Kokiri Centre. This is in Waingaro. It's on the other end of the harbour from the marae. But it's a centre that was created by Eva, it was land that was taken back by Eva Ricard and a group of people, and they use it now for education. And as a wānanga, we use this quite a lot. There he is there, the man. Right, so we started our journey here at the Kokiri, and we got together, we got our materials, we got a group of artists together, and we went to the whenua, and this is where the marae is. So that's Karioi, that outline you can see there, that's Karioi Maunga, so it's all the way down here. I'm showing you this slide so you can just get some colour. It gives you an idea of kind of what we're working with there. So my role was to visualise the forward movement of the project. I set the wānanga that we had. I worked with the artists with the designs and the colours that they were working with, resources, budget, worked with the marae, and just kept us like feeling good about what we were doing and moving forward. This is what the whare looked like when we started the project. So we started working from architect's plans. So when we started this work, that's where it was at, sort of right there. So we walked around on concrete, we looked at the roof, you know, we had a look at where these heke would go, where this tahuhu would go. And in a project like, this is a very contemporary wharenui. These create an issue because it's different to how a wharenui would normally be built. This has been designed by an architect, so we found a way around those eventually, which is really good. Where's my go along button? Oh, hang on. Yeah, so there you go. That's the road up to that whare, and that's the view out the end into the harbour. It's a very contemporary marae. So it's got a rainbow formation on the front, and it's got two whare that go out like this. We just worked on one of them, and the name of the whare is Te Mainupo. This is us at the Kokiri. These are some of the artists from our kaiako team who started work on the project. This is Anya Nietzsche here. She's a graduate of Maunga Kura Toi at Rahui Pōkeka, and there you can see Jodie Reid, she's from Whirikoka, and Michelle Lee, she was teaching in Opotiki. Both of them have gone now, but they were part of the beginning of this project. There we are doing our mahi. We've got Jodie, Mariwa, Severn, who's from Ōtepoti, Sid Thompson there. He's now working in a different area, but he came along and shared with us all his expertise about being able to take our designs and put them into a computer. And so we could actually like say, oh, what colour? And he would put it in and we could look at it. And so that was a really, you can see someone's got an iPad there too. So just kind of using a lot of different skills to create the work. So this is an example of some work by a very talented artist called Valinda Chadwick. And she's a graduate of He Waka Herenga, but she's also a graduate of Toi Pai Matua where we had a diploma level 6 in Saumatu. She's an incredibly skilled artist, and this is a kind of work in kōwhaiwhai that's very different to what you would normally see, and that comes from the wishes of the whānau. So when we were working with the whānau, they wanted to see aspects of their taiao, their whenua, and their whakapapa in their boards, and so they took our artists around, showed them different things, and the creativity started to flow from there. These boards here, Hiramahina's working on an iPad here, and she's drafting up a pattern that then becomes this over here. But this pattern here on this board is taken from, in the old kainga that they had, there was a carpet that had this really cool tukutuku pattern. And so she saw that, and she said, oh, it's like the Pātiki. So then Pātiki is of course one of the ika from around the harbour, so that was one of the fish that the whānau wanted. And then, so the translation, just they're using the different kinds of processes that they're using. She's drafting up on an iPad, and then over here, this is a really amazing skill. That's taped. So that's all taped up, and it's all done with a very precise angular knife, and it's taped up so that one layer of paint can go on, and then the underneath is protected from that paint, and you take it off, and then underneath looks different. So they were playing with a lot of different processes. There was a lot of learning that happened for everybody on the project. Māori Wasavern, same set of boards there, and here's Belinda Chadwick working on her. She was working in the area that we called Ngāhere. We gave the boards little names because, you know, we're talking about the ones we had Hauaru boards, we had Moana boards, Ngāhere boards, and whakapapa boards, and they were all different colours. The Ngāhere were green. These ones here from Anya are similar to the ones that Belinda's doing, but in a different paint style. So this is a similar kind of flora and fauna depiction, but it's done in a kapirua. So everything's got a kapirua going around it. These boards here are the boards that we called whakapapa. So the boards on the left there are by the master, Hira Mahina Ikatone. She actually ended up, she asked her whānau after she'd done these boards if it would be okay if she created another set and entered them into the Kingi Tuheitia Portraiture Awards, and she won a highly commended. So another set, they're 2.4 metres long by 0.3 wide. So she did 4 more, because the ones that she did for the marae were tapu, and she wanted to make that separation. So the set that went and hung in the Portraiture Awards were a totally different set. She had a whole team of people helping her to realise those. And this technique with the triangles and that's specifically something for her. These ones here, these tell the story of the birds. So Tūkotuku and Tumainupo through the red and white feathers with the pūhoro behind. This is a layup of the boards all kind of sitting together. So you've got the whakapapa boards here, you've got the Ngāhere boards, then you've got one of the boards from Moana, which shows the kanai, which is the black mullet and the tuna, and then the board next to that is the Hauauru boards. Hira Mahina Ikatone completed a lot of these boards. The girls all started to work together, so they'd get really excited, you know, they'd finish theirs and then they would be on to something else. So the level of skill in the painting is exceptionally high with this work. This one here, this is Belinda Chadwick, one of our Mangakura Toi graduates. And because of the nature of the mahi, these took a long time to complete. So this slide here is just showing some of the whānau. So this is Ted Wilson. This man here is one of my oldest, I'm probably one of his oldest friends too. He is a huirama, and this is his son Te Whao and his mokopuna. And so what we did with these particular set of boards here was we got Sid Thompson to cut some vinyls for us so that we could have a wānanga session where the whānau came in and did the painting, because it's quite skilled stuff. With the vinyls set down really well, getting the paint in there, and then we could just peel them off afterwards and just touch up. So that meant that this whānau here were able to come in and do this mahi. Here's a video. The tahahu was designed and created by Anya Nietzsche, one of our Mangakura Toi graduates, in conversation with Kaumātua, who wanted her to do something with the double rainbow. It's a prophecy from their pūrākau. The double rainbow with karioi maunga as well in there. It's a really big room, so it's really, really spacious. So each of these, so on each side you've got 4.8 metres. So you've got 2 boards on each side, so each side is 4.8. So 4.8 on one side, 4.8 on the other side. Yeah, that's just after the install. And I've got, hang on, let's see what else I've got. Oh yeah, that's just showing So we're really fortunate to have an amazing, we found some really great master builders, and they were able to realise getting the mahi up into the roof, which is, you know, you've got these really incredible works of art, really, and you're at the stage where they've got to sit in the roof, they've got to sit up there forever, they've got to go up there in the same way with the same precision and beauty that they've been painted, and we were really lucky. This kind of boxing off, those sorts of things. There was so much learning that happened because in the building process, in the process of making the building, the guys who built it didn't build it particularly level. So luckily we had some the installer builders who were amazing. They were like, oh no, do you know that actually? And they shaved all the wood down. They shaved each piece of wood so it fitted snugly to that ceiling there. So the tikanga mātauranga was established by the haukainga, and that has been where a lot of our learning has occurred. It's been a hononaka of coming together of these groups of people and really working through their wishes, but also applying artist skill, you know, being able to kind of negotiate that space. Yeah, it was really amazing. We got to spend a lot of time with some really great... Oh, okay. I'm going to show you videos now very quickly, okay, because you might want to see these. Oh, hang on. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay.
Ka pai, thank you, Kim.